Hi, brothers and sisters. Okay, so this is going to be part 2. Um, keep our focus on Jesus. Forgive me, I was going to do part 2 last night, but I had so much to do around the house. As I told you before, me and my husband, we had to, we had to put up new doors and, it goes on from there. But what the Lord wants me to talk about now is after the eclipse on August 21st, after the eclipse, so many things were let out, spirits. So much is happening in the spirit world. He allowed me to be tested. And I know many of you can relate because I know you feel something way different after the eclipse, and everything's speeding up, like, well, it was all the hurricanes at first, and anyways, but he's also allowed his faithful ones to be tested. He says here, yeah, go ahead. You can do this to her or him, but she's going to remain faithful, or he's going to remain faithful, or she's going to come back to me, So, I really don't want to go into detail, but the whole thing with my Suboxone, I don't know if many of you seen that video, but if you've been following me, I did a video. I don't know if this was the only subject, but I did put in there that the Lord told me not to make a doctor's appointment. I thought that it's really kind of a long story, but the pharmacy messed up, okay? And they never mess up. The pharmacy messed up and said I was out of refills, when in fact, and I didn't know this for about a week and a half later, I had 60 left. Well, I didn't know that. I thought I had to go to the doctor. So, I was praying with the Lord, and the Lord said, you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about going to the doctor. Anyways, all this to say that in the meantime, that, was part of the testing that allowed, the testing, I guess. It was part of the testing. I don't know. But either way, and I know I'm not the only one. Many of you are probably being tested right now. Many of you might have passed the entire time. The Lord's let me know that, yeah, I failed at first, but in the long run, I passed because, I chose Him. And, He said, yeah, go ahead, test her, but she'll come back to me quickly. But all this to say, so while I was being tested and, kind of took my eyes, I never took my eyes off of the Lord. I always remained in contact, but I don't know how to put this, without going into detail. Basically, I got a taste of not having to have that pain or the roller coaster every day of waiting on the Lord. And yes, it is nice, for a teeny tiny second, because the pain that we go through, brothers and sisters, it's like no other, and when you've been doing it for so long, and then all of a sudden, you don't have to have that pain. It just kind of, I don't know. So, all this to say, after the eclipse, things have been speeding up tremendously. There has been much movement in the spirit world. And, you might have been tested, and if you were, that's okay. He says, that's okay if you failed the test, but come back to me and you pass in the long run. So many distractions going on out in our world right now after the eclipse. So be careful, brothers and sisters. If you have not been party to one of these distractions, if you have been blessed enough to remain loyal, and well, I won't say that I didn't remain loyal. It's hard to explain with not going into detail, so it's like I want to say something and I'm like, so, but I know you are my family, and you don't judge, if you really have God's heart, then you don't judge, you love. I think that was about it that he wanted me to touch base on, because I know many more have been tested just like I, and they failed, just like I at first. And, but, that doesn't mean that they have to continue in failure. That doesn't mean they have to walk with the enemy. They can turn back to Jesus at any time. When I was crying out to him because I was, feeling just, I don't know how to describe it. Just, of course, guilty and bad, and, just feeling so, I don't know, many other feelings. And he gave me Psalms 31. I know I told you before, and it was beautiful, So, okay, brothers and sisters, I love you guys so much. So don't give up. If you have been distracted, that's okay. Come back to him. And he says that, you'll go back to the way things were before, like nothing ever happened. How awesome is our God? How awesome is his mercy, his love. Okay, brothers and sisters, I say I'm at like 9:43. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to meet each and every one of you. I love you guys. Shalom.